Hello loves, Cassie here, and today I'm going to be sharing tips with you to learn the tarot card meanings quickly. So I know memorizing 78 cards out of a guidebook, that's quite a tall order. So what if I told you you could learn the foundations of everything you need to understand each card out of the tarot card deck with 36 correspondences? And correspondences, as you know, I talk about them all the time. Correspondences are energies that play well together. So they're energies that match the energies of the card. So understanding those 36 correspondences, it's going to give you everything you need to understand the basics and then build off of it with your intuition. Okay, so of course, as always, you can check out and dive deeper into this topic on the blog. I shared a very in-depth blog post with lots of resources for you. I created several infographics with all of these different correspondences, so you can check out the blog at zendout.com/blog, and it's also linked in the bio, okay? And of course, gotta mention the shirt. This is from the lovely Aaliyah. Her podcast, Spiritual Shit, is amazing. If you haven't listened to it, I highly recommend it. And I think she's still selling these shirts. Anyways, so correspondence are simply energies that play well together, okay? Now, understanding, in my opinion, understanding the meanings word for word out of a guidebook does your intuition a disservice. So that's why I like working with the tarot through understanding the correspondences, because when you understand these different correspondences, you're really just creating a foundation of understandings for the tarot cards, and then you can use your intuition to kind of build off of that. The correspondences can kind of point you in the right direction of understanding what the reading is about for yourself or others, and then you can use your intuition to kind of go from there. So in my opinion, this is my preferred way of working with the cards, and that's what I always tell people when they're like, how do you get started? Learn these correspondences first. So the first and most important thing before you even jump into the correspondences is going to be to understand your learning style. So you might not know this about me, but before I ran my own business, which I've been doing this for about 9 years now, I was actually an elementary and middle school art teacher. So I have my degree in art education, and I've learned all about different learning styles. So if that's new to you, you can look it up, and you probably know this about yourself. Maybe you're a very visual learner. Maybe you learn best from hearing people, like lecture style. Maybe you learn best from doing it. Determine the way it is that you learn best and use that when we're working with these 36 correspondences to help you really seal them in. So if you're a really visual learner, or you like doing, you can journal, you can draw, you can sketch, maybe saying it out loud, maybe watching this video works for you, maybe working some movement into it is helpful for you. So try, if you're not sure, just try some different things and see what sticks. So that's going to be really important, because if you spend a bunch of time just reading about these correspondences and it doesn't stick and it's not really helping you, then change it up and try something else to see if there's a different technique that will help you learn these. Now, the nice thing about the 36 correspondences I share in this blog post are that they can really be used in so many different facets of witchcraft, spirituality, energy work, candle magic. So it's not like they're only applicable to the tarot. In fact, a lot of them you might already know. So we're talking numerology, astrology, the elements. These are really common correspondences that you might already know quite a bit about. And if you do, you've already got a leg up and have less than 36 correspondences to learn to really start diving deep into understanding the tarot. So once you understand your learning style, the first place that I suggest starting is with numerology. So basic numerology usually uses the numbers 1 through 9. It uses single digits, then you combine single digits, and you combine double digits until you have a single digit. So for tarot, it is slightly different. We do use the number 10, and the numerology, it can apply to both the minor arcana and the major arcana, but I'm going to be talking primarily here about its use in the minor arcana. Now, I do have my tarot book and my tarot card deck coming out later this year, and I do discuss more about how you can use numerology with the major arcana in the book. So, as far as the numbered cards of the minor arcana in the suits, so we've got the Four of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, all of those numbered cards, which there are a lot of. They're some of the hardest ones to learn because there are so many of them. numerology is going to be really helpful for learning these because each number has an energy associated with it that you can then apply to each card. So then the second thing, and I dive into the meanings of each of these. I'm not going to share the meanings of each correspondence with you on here because I created some beautiful graphics for you so you can really absorb those. I'm just going to kind of tell you how to use the information, put it together, and apply it to the tarot. But the meanings and everything, that you'll have to dive into on your own. So once you have a solid understanding of those 1 through 10 numbers and can apply them to the numbers of the minor arcana, then you'll want to have a good understanding of the 4 elements. So we've got earth, air, water, fire. Each of those elements corresponds to one of the suits of the tarot. So we've got cups with water, we've got wands with fire, swords with air, and pentacles with earth. So now with just numerology and the elements, you have a really good understanding of the foundation of what each card means. So here, for example, we've got the 6 of Pentacles and we've got the 6 of Cups. So 6 is a number that has to do with exchange, giving and receiving. It could be help. It could be, like I said, giving to somebody, or it could be that you need to receive something from somebody and you need to be better at receiving. So number 6 is often about a lot of exchange. And we can see that in the pictures of these cards. You know, we see giving and receiving in both of these cards. So now we layer on the knowledge of the elements, which the Pentacles, we have earth, which has to do with materiality, finances, work. And you can see that it's a gentleman giving some money. So some of these, it's really great. The pictures are very telling, but not always. And then here, so this one, the picture is not quite as telling, although slightly. We've got some younger people giving these cups back and forth. So again, we have the giving and receiving, but cups, the suit of cups associates with water, so we know that this has to do with emotions or the subconscious or intuition. So how can we apply, how can we combine those together? Well, maybe it has to do with reliving past memories. We can see that these are young people. That's kind of the traditional meaning of this card, is like thinking back upon your younger years. But it could also be an exchange of emotions or receiving emotions or giving emotions, because we know that that 6 has to do with emotions. So like I said, just with those 2 different correspondences that we understand, it's like you automatically break through and can understand so many of those minor arcana numbered cards. Okay, so the next one, which is one of my favorites for understanding the major arcana, are understanding the zodiac sign correspondences and the planetary correspondences. So if you love astrology, this one is going to be easy for you. If astrology is new to you, you might need to take a little bit more time to learn it. But if you love working with tarot or want to get into the tarot, I think that it's going to be worth your time. And like I said, all of these correspondences overlap with so many other things. Like, did you know that each day of the week corresponds to a planet as well? So you can use your planetary correspondence wisdom and learn how they correspond to the days of the week. Total side note, got a little off track there, but I just wanted to show you an example of how you can use these correspondences in loads of other areas of your life. So for the planetary correspondences, each card of the major arcana is going to have either a zodiac sign or a planet assigned to it. So we have the Empress here. She is ruled by Venus, which we can actually see the glyph for Venus here. Not all of them have the glyph on them. I just happen to pick this one that does. And then we have the High Priestess, who is associated with the moon, okay? So I did happen to pick 2 that were associated with planets, but several of the cards, like the Emperor, for example, is associated with Aries. So you can see not all of them are planets. And then each planet and each zodiac sign also correspond to an element. So again, you can see how all these energies just start to mend and blend together. So you can use both of those And then, like I said earlier, you can use numerology in this too, but I'm not going to dive into this right here on this blog post. You'll have to wait for my book or do some digging on your own for that one. So for the High Priestess here, she's associated with the moon, which is associated with the element of water. So we know that she has to do with the subconscious and intuition. And because she's in the major arcana, we know that this is of a card of high importance, okay? So it's not just your daily intuitive thoughts you're having. This is something big. That's what the major arcana always tells us. And now we have the Empress, who is ruled by Venus, and Venus corresponds to the element of earth. So we know that the Empress is all about love and beauty, but also birthing material things, bringing things to the world, because we have that earth energy associated with it. So it's a very motherly card, okay? So again, you can see how just understanding those two elements, those two correspondences, the elements and the planets, it just gives you a huge leg up in understanding the cards. So if you've been intimidated by the tarot, if you've wanted to, or you just feel like you're relying too much on the guidebook, I highly, highly, highly suggest diving into all these correspondences, numerology, the 4 elements, and those basic astrology correspondences of the planets and the zodiac signs and how they all weave together. Because it is, I think it just opens up so many doors when you start working with the tarot and any magic and spell work in general, because it just, if you're like me, maybe I'm sure I've got some visual people out there, but I can just kind of visualize all these different energies playing and weaving together, and I just think it's really cool. So hopefully you do too. If for you need to see it in action, I've got those infographics on the blog for you. I'll also share them here on Instagram here in a bit. And again, you can find that at sendout.com/blog or linked in the bio. And the new tarot card deck and the new tarot book will be out in September, which is available for pre-order now. I do not think I have it linked in my bio yet, but coming soon. All right, my loves, if you have some tarot questions, especially related to this video, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as possible, and I hope you have a magical weekend. Bye.